Hello everyone, my name is Poetentate, but I go by Poe, and welcome back to my Honkai Star Rail stream. I accidentally hit the pause button on the stream. Sorry about that. Alright, so, I already said who I was, and what game we're playing, and I've already lost all my momentum and thought process. Not good for the goldfish brain. Alright, so, we're playing Honkai Star Rail today, and we are getting down to the last part of the event that has to do with Aurum Alley. But don't worry, if you're watching on the time of this live stream, we still have 7 more days of this event, so you have more than enough time. But do be aware there's like 3 parts of it, and it's usually about 2 hours between for each part. But this also is a bookmarked event, so that means that it will be one of the events that you can play at a later point. I think the bookmark events are ones that are like important to the story kind of thing. So we'll be getting our last section of this event done today. And if we have any extra time, we will work on the new Simulated of Universe event called Swarm Disaster. And it will be introducing a new path called the Path of Propagation. So we're excited for that. Let's see. I have at least one achievement to show you all. And that is, listen, use the Trailblazer to fight Boss Kafka and become dominated by her. I fought Kafka in the Simulated Universe recently. Who would have guessed? It looks like we have a new chat log, but I'm going to show you my characters real fast. So, currently, because I just leveled up to Equilibrium level 4, I'm trying to get my main team up to par. And so everybody's level 70 already. I've got everybody's light cones up to 70 in my main team. So right now, I'm doing traces. I started with Jing Yuan because Jing Yuan hits like a truck, especially his follow-up attack. So I have all of Jing Yuan fully maxed out. The fact that we've gotten to the point where they're using these guys and the boss materials to level up, it hurts a little bit, not gonna lie. Currently I'm working on my Gepard. As you can see, I got his 2 new like extra abilities done, his stat bonus ones, and I'm working on these guys. And then I will probably do Locha next, and then the Trailblazer last. Oh yeah, thank you for popping in. Glad to see you later. Glad to see you now. But we'll do the Trailblazer last. For those of you who were with me on my last stream, you will know that I lost the 50-50 on Don Hung's banner to Bailu, and hilariously, or kind of more insultingly, I also, on the standard banner that same day, just at the beginning and the end of my stream, I also got Bailu's weapon. So I have a fully ready Bailu that I'll be working on soon to get her up here. I'm sad because I didn't get Don Hung, but I do like having my second healer, my second 5-star healer, because that means I have all the healers in the game now, which is great, because you really do need healers, and well-built ones, for those Forgotten Hall and Simulated Universes. So, having both of them is great. I could have like a pretty decent, I could have like a, I almost have, what are they, Erudition? I thought so. I almost have 4 Eruditions then that I could fight on one team that are 5 stars, because we have Jing Yuan, Kafka, and now Bailu. Oh no, Kafka's Nihility, but she's the Electro one. Anyway, I'll get this down eventually. And then I think we have a pull on standard, because 9 days. I honestly don't think I'm gonna be able to get him, guys. I'm real sad about that, but I just don't think it's gonna be possible. Except like maybe Swarm Disaster might be able to get us there. But we'll have to see. I got distracted by him and just forgot what I was doing. Anyway, okay, we don't quite have enough. Because I leveled them up, when they get to level 70, they drop one of these tickets, and so I thought I was close to one, but not quite. We are making a dent, though. All right, so, and then we have one text message. So let's take a look at that. It's from Bailu. Oh, we have two from her. Okay. Kalis, I've made a huge discovery. Please elaborate, oh miracle doctor. So, berry pheasant skewers are vegetarian. I see. Trivia gained. But what does this mean? This means I can finally eat it without remorse. Bwahahaha. Why you say that? Surprised emoji. I like sweet things, but I can't have sweet meats. So no matter how alluring the honey-colored caramel syrup covering berry pheasant skewers looked, I didn't dare take a step closer. But the situation is different now. Look at these mouth-watering colors. I can't take it. I'm getting hungry. I'm sneaking out to buy some. Bahahaha. Talk to you soon. And then Kalis, I want to ask, do you know of any ways to grow taller? I'm not the one asking, okay? I'm asking for a patient. Is this patient perhaps yourself? Don't stick your nose into healer lady affairs. Angry pom-pom. Emoji. I'm the one asking here. Just give me an answer. Drink more milk is like the standard answer because calcium is with your bones, but sleeping, all of these are decent answers, but the traditional answer is the milk. I heard you just need to drink more milk. That's a myth. I already tried. I drank puffer goat milk in all 3 meals. I've grown a total of zilch. Seems like you've tried it all. Not really. That patient tried it. Nothing worked. I understand. La la la, ignoring you. Okay. Let's see. Like I said, we're on the last part of the Aurum Alley event. So, it looks like we've driven off the IPC for now, but currently in the event we're trying to win the bid for Aurum Alley so that it stays within the Merchant Guild. We had just raised enough funds, but let's see if we actually win the bid.
I've heard about all the great things you've done for Aurum Alley. Please, take your time. I've packed some for you to take home, too.
Tall Auntie enthusiastically packs a full bag of takeout for you. New message. The president asked me to plan a public meeting of the Merchant Guild. In order to help defeat the old president, I prepared a little something. Where are we meeting? Oh, young master, so dependable. Let's make it at the docks. Madame Yukong will be there today. 2. Prepared emoji that's excited. I won't choose sides, so do your best. We will win the president over completely. Say, the president will definitely show up today, right? Should be. Great, I want to witness this. I have a feeling it's either going to be an Arumaton that he's either speaking through, or he is the Arumaton, or it's just going to be the lady we've been talking to outside the door.
Right on time. Xiao Han is about to share his strategy for the upcoming hearing.
The president likes to quote past experiences and data. We can do that too.
The president and Madame Yukong are here. Ready?
Trying to like look over there to see if I can see. Oh, it's just the head again. We're not even gonna get to see him. The Arumaton head.
Before we start, let's review the documents we have. This is the most direct achievement of our revival project. More importantly, it's evidence that the alley has regained its footing. The money will serve as the bidding deposit for Aurum Alley.
Since Artistry Hardware partnered with the dock, its scope of operations has expanded. and its revenue and customer satisfaction have both increased. As a result, we're seeing an uptick in customers visiting the shop, contrary to the President's assumptions. The data suggests that the success of the old Aurum Alley was largely due to the economic circumstances of the past. At its peak, the old Aurum Alley had a trading volume similar to what the alley has today.
The hearing is about to begin.
I will be hosting this hearing on behalf of the Skyfaring Commission. Ming-Shi, are your people all present?
We're all here, but where's the president?
I'm right here.
Okay, so then the question begs, is the Arumaton, like, is it an AI, kind of like Svarog is, or is he just, like, projecting through it?
You're the president?
That is correct. I know my appearance is a little unsettling. If the hearing were of vital importance to the future of Aurum Alley, I wouldn't attend in person. Still, I didn't expect a reaction like this. Are you so afraid to converse with a piece of metal?
More surprised, yeah. Are you allowed to be the president?
There's an Arumaton in Aurum Alley.
No, I'm surprised that they're allowing an Arumaton to be acting president. Like, you...
Let me remind everyone that we are at a hearing. Mr. President, please share with us your vision for Aurum Alley.
The debate.
I can tell that the opposing side is eager to see Aurum Alley thrive. Your passion resonates with me. The IPC plans to turn the alley into a logistics hub. You are practically thinking the same. The reality is, overdevelopment can only adversely impact customer experience, making the alley less appealing. I can tell that
Since we share the same passion, where is it that we disagree?
the prosperity under your proposal means diminishing the alley's tradition and personality. We can afford neither. I can tell that the IPC plans to turn the reality is overdevelopment.
Okay, so this is the one we want, and then we're gonna show the Artistry hardware sales analysis.
There are actually more customers coming to the alley.
This record reflects the change in Artistry Hardware's turnover and the increase in customers since it partnered with the dock.
The shop does better than it used to. Impossible. You must be bluffing.
You know Ming-Shi better than I do. Would she deceive you with fake data?
The sample size is too small. I'm not convinced.
If I were you, Mr. President, I would think of ways to translate the success of that one sample into something that can benefit everyone. A guild that doesn't proactively help businesses has no reason to exist.
Get him, Sushang!
You have not witnessed what I have seen, so you fail to understand my insistence.
Why does this game do the robot voices so well? Svarog, oh, I forgot what the name of the gentleman robot that's on this, that partners with the simulated universe name is, the one with the butterfly. But Sam from the Stellaron Hunters, Svarog from Bellabog, the simulated universe one as well. All banging, all amazing voices. And now we have the Arumaton president, and his voice is also just delightful.
The old Aurum Alley achieved a commercial miracle that has not yet been replicated. It did so by following my way of doing things.
Alright, so this is where we're gonna put in the piece of information that states that their peak level of business is our current level of business, but I want to hear everything he says.
If humans are unable to draw wisdom from history, Arumatons can teach them. You have not witnessed.
You can't just rely on your age and experience.
There are many things that only time can tell, young one. You have not. If humans are unable to draw, the old Aurum Alley achieved a commercial miracle that has not yet been replicated. It did so by following.
You've been looking at the past through rose-tinted glasses.
In the golden era you described, the old Aurum Alley had a trading volume similar to today.
You included the delivery side cranes in your math.
We did. So what?
You can't draw simple parallels between then and now using absolute numbers. The trading volume you mentioned may not look impressive today, but it was huge relative to...
Go
I
on.
see what you are saying. While criticizing you for making flawed comparisons, I myself also made the mistake of believing that what worked in the past could be copied to serve the present.
Mr. President, the way I see it, you shouldn't regard the alley as a souvenir from the past. Aurum Alley should embrace change, as its residents do.
It seems we have reached an agreement. The hearing concludes here.
Yay!
First challenging an IPC rep and now winning over the president of the guild? You're pretty good.
Only when the game allows me to be, because otherwise I'd rather just be quiet and let Mr. Yang handle it, because otherwise I'll just incite violence, apparently. Collective effort.
The materials that Mingxi and Xiaohan provided were super useful.
Knowing the president, I think he's now ready to entrust you with the future of the alley. The president commands the trust of many reputable shops in the alley. Their support for him was likely to be a big obstacle to your rejuvenation project. His invitation to debate this matter publicly was a chance for the more difficult business owners to hear from you directly.
I almost feel bad for him. Aurum Alley's enemy should be the IPC, not the president.
What if the IPC isn't an enemy?
The IPC is an enemy, don't give in.
He's been transferred elsewhere. I'll be handling things from now on.
You can't be like, oh, the IPC might not be the enemy only because I am now the representative from the IPC. Sir, you have joined the enemy's side. A betrayal! A betrayal!
You're with the IPC?
Same thing, same Sushang, same Sushang. Betrayer.
Xiaohan is the IPC's operation rep in Exalting Sanctum.
You snake!
Backstabbing little.
My original plan only involved helping you overthrow the current president. But as we progressed, I saw there was more common ground than I'd anticipated. Since we all agree that the dock is vital to Aurum Alley's development, why not take things further and turn the alley into a full-blown logistics hub? Imagine cargo ships from all corners of the galaxy, docking and departing. This place will be transformed into a renowned commercial port, instead of another run-of-the-mill market.
As long, it'll have to be up to local merchants. And as long as it's done in a way that makes sure that it's benefiting the local merchants primarily and not driving people out of their homes and businesses to better profit the IPC. I like that there's no compromise one. It's either you're for it or against it. It's a good idea in concept, but it has to be done very delicately, otherwise we will run into the same issue of the IP essentially taking over the area and driving out the locals.
When the IPC wins the bidding, I'm sure we can continue to work together for a brand new Aurum Alley.
You're not winning the bid that easily, if I have anything to say about it.
Hey, not so fast. It's still anyone's game.
Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. In that case, keep up the good work. I'll see you at the negotiation table.
Remove him from the group chat immediately. Xiao Han leaves the dock. The next phase of Aurum Alley's development begins. Remove him from the group chat immediately. Oh, he's ducking out himself. As much as I appreciate spending time with you guys, I shall excuse myself from the group to avoid controversy. So for now, farewell. Leaves the group chat. Although you have different positions at the negotiation table, your goals are the same. Therefore, you should engage in a thorough debate to have a chance to supplement your own perspectives from each other's viewpoints. An open-minded perspective is more valuable than a singular viewpoint. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, like, we don't want IPC to be the one to win the bid, because the local people should be the ones who, like, blah, who have control of what the IPC can do in the local area than the other way around, because the IPC might eventually be like, well, if we just turn this entire thing into a warehouse, it'd be more profitable to us, so we still need to win the bid.
Thanks to your help, the dock is running at full capacity. Just like last time, I told the workers to clear out areas that weren't utilized and use them to store extra cargo. We now have the additional capacity to work with more businesses and have also opened a new route leading to the port. With streamlined logistics planning, I think we'll see a revitalized alley in no time. It's fantastic. Many folks began lending the Merchant Guild a hand after you helped them out.
The Merchant Guild used the funds to upgrade the docks and unlock the large-sized freight star skiff that can be now used to arrange inventory. The large-sized freight star skiffs will provide higher shipping revenue. 10 of these, huh? Oh, they can just go right on top. Alright, is anything just used to? Oh yeah, I just remembered. So I've been comparing this mission a lot to like a Chinese Danhua arc, and one of the group being a member of a different organization that's secretly helping us, but also to achieve their own goals is also very common, but them also taking over the team that we were working against, not as common, so I did not see that coming. Okay, some aromatons. It needs 14, so the aromatons are probably standing on top of these. Yeah, thought so. Okay, with the Merchant Guild's myriad of achievements, it is time to make a concentrated effort to prepare for the bidding. Aurum Alley will neither rest on its laurels nor abandon its established dominance. Aurum Alley will follow its own way.
Some time ago, I asked Su Shang to have a chat with Yin Sui to see if we could secure Spices Supreme as the next client for the dock. I've heard Su Shang has made some progress. She could use some extra hands. Would you mind helping her out?
It's like, we've already committed to this, so we might as well just be like, yeah, leave it to me.
So much. I would have helped her myself, but I've been drowning in paperwork in preparation for the bidding. Su Shang is waiting for you at Spices Supreme. Go find her when you have the time.
Are all dragons like this? Zhongli is also like this, where he like gets other people to pay for him. And now Bailu is like this. Ugh. Give me 1 minute, guys. I need to take a quick run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. My stomach seems rather upset today. But yeah, so we'll get right back to it.
Sushang told me all about what you did to help the shops in the alley. Very impressive. I wish Spices Supreme would step up their game, though. It'd be a dream come true if I could order takeout from the Alchemy Commission. Perhaps, but Cycranes can make deliveries between delves. Chef Yen Sui used to be on the president's side. After she heard about Mingxi's plans, she decided to cooperate with the dock. It's a good opportunity. Ah! There's finally hope for Spices Supreme takeout! Not only that, putting Spices Supreme on the map would increase interest in the alley as a whole. To get us started, I've proposed a crossover between the Merchant Guild and Spices Supreme. Buy a meal box and get a visiograph of Bailu. What? You think I'm not popular enough?
I just didn't know if she gotten your permission or not.
Huh. You have a point. Also, I'm not sure it's a good idea for the High Elder of the Vidyadhara to appear on takeout boxes. Yansui has agreed to offer you free meals throughout the crossover. Sign me up! Come, let's go talk to Yansui.
Also, I remember in her text message she talked about, like, she's trying to get bigger, but haven't we already talked to the Vidyara before? The ones that are, like, stuck in child form are, like, stuck that way, like, they'll never get any bigger, even though they're mentally an adult. Didn't we already talk to someone about that?
Now, would you mind giving me the lowdown on this crossover event?
In short, Spices Supreme will release a series of crossover meal deals. Customers get Aurum Alley shopping coupons when they place an order. And, in addition to the coupons, you can get a visiograph of Bailu, our alley ambassador. Yep. Of course, Chef Yansui will have the final say on what to include in these deals. Although some basic options should include meal for one, meal for two, and family meal. Yes, when customers are done eating, they can come to the alley for a stroll.
Weren't we trying to get them to do takeout? Wouldn't it be, like, counterintuitive for them to get takeout and then get a ticket for an area that they were too busy to visit anyway, hence why they got takeout?
We need someone famous for branding. Lady Bailu is the High Elder of the Vidyadhara, and also the most sought-after doctor in the Alchemy Commission. If she can be our ambassador, we'll have queues for miles.
Wow, that's a lot of information. I haven't wrapped my head around it, but I'm sure you'll do a good job.
Ha! Leave it to me. About these visiographs, what do you need me to do? Let's shoot 3 theme sets. Bailu at the alley entrance, Bailu and Cycranes, and the last one should be... maybe Bailu and friends? Well, all the pictures will be shot in the alley, so there you go. Let's go, folks.
Gotta go.
Cute! Here we go. Hey, Bailu, be natural.
I'm trying to get the passers-by out of the shot. Alright, if she will just get out of... There we go.
We need a slogan to go with the picture. I wish I'd read more books. Any ideas? Meh. Too generic. Let's leave the slogan to Mingxi. We should head to the next location.
I do enjoy that they're just teleporting me to the photo shoot spots.
3, 2, 1. What's the word again?
Cheese.
Slogan for this one.
Man, we can just roast Bailu, apparently.
Sounds like I'm not needed here.
Let's leave the slogan to Mingxi. We should head to the next location.
Follow Bailu and Sushang to the next photo spot.
Remember, smile when you say the word. Cheese. Come on, need another slogan.
But you hated the ones I've come up with.
Last one, please.
You're out of ideas.
I'll ask Mingxi for some more ideas later. Let's go back to Yinsui's place.
I like that we're essentially making photo cards, like for K-pop celebrities. But for
Yensui
Bailu.
has just told me to go ahead with the partnership.
Bailu can finally have her takeout.
That's the only good news today.
Logistics planning. I actually do enjoy this quite a bit, so. The mechanical noise that the Cycranes make, I love it for some reason.
If we want to start making takeout, we're gonna need more hands in the kitchen. Mingxi, how likely is it that the guild will win the bid? I'm trying to work out what the future holds for Spices Supreme.
I can't say for certain, but with you on board, our chances have greatly increased.
Every time. I love her her shorts. I would love to have these shorts. Ugh.
I'm glad to hear it. Dragon Lady, why don't you drop by the restaurant? I'll make you some smoked patty.
Thanks. I'm starving.
Due to its wild popularity, Spices Supreme has drawn countless tourists to pay them a visit. Alright, new goods have been transported to the dock and await shipping. Assist the Merchant Guild to attain their funding goal of 500,000, I'm assuming credits, or is it straw?
There's still more work to do on the Aurum Alley. There has been an influx of tourists in Aurum Alley lately. There's even
Get
a
some
long
more
line-
stellar jade. Get some more stellar jade.
line for immortal.
Okay, I wondered. Three, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Okay, so I can't do anything to stack more on here. Boyang of Elegance Pagoda is worried about the declining reputation of his establishment in the antique community. Yeah, I think we have like 2 more businesses, this one being one of them. We've seen this NPC a lot. Like this design. You're Kalis, right? Just so happens that I have something. Wait, have we ever met before? Yeah, we've met a few times at Miss Secretary's office, but perhaps you don't remember me anymore. Here's the thing, my store sells fandangles? But lately, more and more Outworlders have been flooding in and claiming they've bought precious antiques at low prices. Over time, people have started to see my store as an antique shop, and even the Merchant Guild has been recommending that I officially make the switch. To be honest, selling antiques is more lucrative than selling fandangles, and it would give me more time to relax. The thing is, if I were to make the switch, it would be like opening a whole new shop, and I'd have to start from scratch and build up new customer base, and I've been thinking about it, but I haven't quite figured out how to do it yet. In the end, Miss Secretary came up with a great idea, and now I need someone to help me execute it. It's simple. I wouldn't have asked you if my little Psycrane could do it. Honestly, I've tried it before, but my customer base just slowly disappeared over time. At first, I thought it was just bad luck, but then the same thing happened in my Fandangle circle as well, so I started asking around, and I found out... Turns out that some ignorant Outworlders have been spreading rumors that I don't know anything about antiques, and that I've been selling fake antiques. That's how my reputation got tarnished. Hey, it's unfair to judge someone solely based on their appearance. You just don't get it. I mean, I was born and raised on the Cian-Show ship, and I just can't wrap my head around how those Outworlders define antiques. Some fandangles made a few decades ago can have amazing craftsmanship, but those outsiders don't even consider them to be true antiques. Meanwhile, some fandangles made centuries ago are so dilapidated that I have to repaint them just to make them presentable. But then those same Outworlders accuse me of destroying antiques. I mean, what's the big deal between antiques from decades ago and centuries ago? It's all just a fleeting amount of time, isn't it? Thankfully, Mingxi heard about my predicament and helped me. She lent me a D-team that allows me to figure out the origin year of my fandangles. Now all I need to do is a little boost in popularity, and that's why I'm planning to host a treasure appraisal event right in front of my store. Here's the plan. I'll place the antiques to be appraised at the door and use D-team to figure out their origin year. If they were made just a few decades ago, I'll smash them. That way, only antiques made centuries ago would be left in my store. That's a terrible plan. Now I need you to help me with the rehearsal so I'll know what the real event will be like. No need to worry about that. I brought out a whole bunch of antiques and ordinary fandangles from my family's warehouse, so you'll have plenty to smash at the upcoming show. Hold on a second, let me show you the antiques we'll be using in the event. Try it yourself and see what it's all about. Here, I got this D-team from some connections. This little guy will help you figure out the origin year of the object, so you'll know which antique to smash. Follow its guidance and you won't make a mistake. Well, just try it yourself and you'll see what to do. Activate your D-team and use its appraise feature on these jars. While appraise is activated, the jar that responds is the genuine one, and the other is the fake. Okay, genuine will glow. Fake will not. Well, now that you should know which one's the genuine antique and which is the fake. Alright, so now smash the fake one and don't touch the genuine one. Oh. Alright, just leave the genuine alone. I wonder if we get an achievement for smashing the other one. Alright. Anyway, it's about time to get the show on the road. I'll gather up some folks here. Fingers crossed this event will be successful. Alright, genuine glows. With the gimmick of a treasure appraisal event, Boyang has attracted a few potential customers. Genuine glows, genuine glows, genuine glows. What's with this setup? An IPC reality show? No, I don't think it has anything to do with the IPC. A local LaFu event, it seems. As the saying goes, the fake can never be real. This treasure appraisal event is hosted by Elegance Pagoda. Now here comes our appraiser, Kalis. Now it's time to show them what I'm made of. Okay. So this is the genuine one, and this one is not. Phew, that's one is fake. It's amazing! How did our appraiser spot that? As the onlookers gradually scatter, you notice that Mingzi has already arrived at the Elegance Pagoda. Watch. The ones that glow are actually the fakes. Oh, I just can't thank you enough. Thanks to your performance, our reputation has taken a turn for the better. I'm sure the business will improve over time. That was fantastic. Bo Young and I have worked out all the details for our cooperation. Kalis, please add Elegance Pagoda into the logistics plan so the docks can give it its new order. I love the, like, ascension into the clouds. Alright, we got a new one. Route score increases by 5. Okay. Oh, we're just barely hitting our goal, 30. Oh, what a pleasant surprise. I've been receiving orders via my Jade Abacus just as we're talking. I'm so grateful to you, Miss Secretary, for all your help. With the dock provided by the guild, shipping will become more convenient. Oops. Sorry, I got a bit too caught up in business talk. Anyway, I should probably go attend to my customers now. Thanks again, I'll see you later. Thanks to your aid, and more people are visiting Elegance Pagoda. Alright, we should only have one more business, I think.
Regardless of the solving merchants' problems and earning their trust.
Oh, no, we have
Anything
2?
merchant guild should do.
Okay, I thought we only had one more. Oh, hey, we got the wallpaper. Oh, lion statues. Those are new. They take 6 spots? 6 big spots. Oh my. They give you a lot, though. I want to know what the weight capacity of this skiff is. Alright. And nothing can be stacked on them either. Interesting. Okay. Boss Dew of Dew's Tea House is fretting about his new flaming potent tea. Alright, after obtaining phone wallpapers, they can be changed in the phone function. Click phone wallpaper to view or change it. Oh, it's up here. I was like, where? It's just a picture. Change the phone wallpapers for the first time. That's cool. I wonder if you can see it with your friends. Okay, I don't see. Oh gosh, I was sitting on my foot and I had to get off of it because it was starting to go numb, but it's too late and it's, oh goodness, it is very much the blood rushing to it. Oh my gosh. That like tingly prickle feeling. Alright, new customer. Give me a second and I will assist you. Ooh, my foot. Oh, my foot. Oh yeah, is Spices Supreme on the map now as someone I can buy from? It is. Okay, let's go to it real quick because I did not buy from them when I was there. I really do like that the stores are like
chatting about food.
That you can like buy from them after you've. That does not look like something I'd be willing to eat, but okay. Make sure I have one of it, just in case it comes up in a quest later that I need it. Hello, sir. I heard about you from Mingzi of the Merchants Guild. You're planning to use the docks to ship the store's goods to other delves. For stores like my tea house, doing business by way of delivery is pretty appropriate. However, you look upset. What happened? Customers are truly a beast to try and understand. Oh, I'm referring to you. Sorry, I just had to vent. Mingzi shared her thoughts on the Merchant Guild with me, and I am in agreement with most of her ideas. It's always a good thing to make the pie bigger, right? So I decided to do some market research to get a better sense of what my potential customers are into. And after collecting the results, I realized that their tastes are really polarized. Either they think my flaming potent tea tastes too bland, or too strong. Ha! That's a typical layperson suggestion. I do plan on tweaking my recipe, but I'm not sure how to do it yet. I'm running a small business and my budget is limited. I can't just develop several flavors. But now that you're here, why not try my new recipes? Feel free to enjoy them. It's on the house. I happen to have developed 3 new recipes for my flaming potent tea in different ratios. Please try them and tell me how you feel. Bastu brings you a mug of flaming potent tea. This one, with a ratio of 9:1, is prepared for those who think my tea is too bland. Give it a sip. As you chug down the tea, its spicy taste sets your throat ablaze. You close your eyes and try to hold back the burning sensation that slides down to your stomach. It takes a long time before you finally get used to the irritation in your stomach. You open your eyes, red from tears caused by the intense sensations. All the colors in the world fade before your eyes. You hear the song of a giant whale in your head. You feel yourself floating, jumping, and spinning until everything suddenly goes black in your vision. Well, at least the world has become quiet again. That is the last thought that flashes through your mind before you collapse. Oh no, poor Trailblazer. Oh, you're awake. Thank goodness. You just passed out while drinking the tea. I thought you kicked the bucket or something. I was trying to move you out of my tea house, but now that you've woken up, I guess everything's okay. Not him trying to dump the body so his reputation doesn't get ruined. Looks like the recipe is not going to work. Well, I've got another one for you to try. This one has a ratio of 7:3, so it's totally safe. Having learned your lesson, you take a sip of the new tea. While it's still a bit intense, the taste is quickly overtaken by aromatic tea flavor. You wait for a while and don't feel any discomfort, so you start chugging it down. You feel incredibly comfortable, almost as if you were floating among soft clouds. You grab a cluster of clouds and playfully toss it to your companion, March 7th. Wait, March 7th? At that moment, you realize there's something wrong, shooting a questioning glance at the tea house owner standing in front of you. You are astonished to see several identical-looking owners, all speaking to you in the exact same tone. Not the hallucinogens. But why didn't I notice earlier that he had so many siblings? Frustrated by your lack of observation, you don't understand why you've never noticed something so obvious before. Your mind is filled with bewilderment, followed by unexplainable sense of fear and regret. You can't help but contemplate how many secrets might be right in front of your eyes, yet remain unnoticed by you. Is this truly because of your lack of observation, or could it be something else that's pulling the strings? Wake up, Kalis! Are you still with me? How many fingers do you see? Finally you've woken up. I didn't expect you would just... forget it. So this recipe is another failure. It seems... Well, how about the last one? A drink with only 1-to-1 ratio. If this fails too, I might as well give up developing new products. I don't know if I'd be willing to try it for a third time. I passed out from spiciness. I have hallucinations. What's this one gonna do? Having learned so much from the previous 2 mugs, you take your time and slowly drink this last mug of flaming potent tea. It tastes like a miraculous mix of sweet spring water and searing flame. The calm yet warm liquid slowly descends your esophagus, providing a comforting sensation. Uncertain, you throw a few more glances at Boss Dew, making sure that you aren't hallucinating. Finally, you let out a sigh of relief. You are pretty sure that this is the best flaming potent tea recipe for you. The third one, sir. While you were still savoring the flaming potent tea, Mingzi has already arrived at Dew's tea house. How are you feeling? Let me know if you feel bad in any way, and I'll call the healers from the Alchemy Commission if I have to. I have never been so calm. I don't know my flaming potent tea could have such an effect. You're the first to make such a remark. Looks like this recipe is just right. I see. I'll make further adjustments based on this one, then. Thank you for trying out my new recipes, Kalis. Thanks to you, now that I've plucked my courage to develop new products. Oh, looks like Miss Secretary's arrived. So what are your plans for logistics planning? You were too focused on enjoying tea to notice me. Kalis, please add Dew's Tea House into my logistics plan so the docks can get some new orders. I guess if you pick the first one, you can, like, go and do the logistics planning later. Okay, so everyone's on this side. But the warehouse is over here. I feel like the tea house would have to be the one that goes down here, but I feel like we'd both lose and gain spaces, because like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you would gain 5, 10, and then it's gaining from there. But someone needs to go on this side to get to this, because we only have 2 spaces this way. So I then need to fully backtrack. Or maybe I should do the T one because it's... Let's try this. And then... We almost got to 50 there. I can't argue with that. Everyone loves my tea after all. Anyway, I'm glad to formally establish the cooperation with the Merchant Guild. Absolutely. I hope our cooperation will be fruitful and bring you our tasty, flaming potent tea to an even larger customer base. Thanks to your aid, more and more people are visiting Dew's Tea House. Okay, so he's a new person we can buy from. Welcome, customer. Would you like a mug of 90% strong flaming potent tea? Flaming potent tea is a tea that is combustible. I guess I don't have to explain what tea and combustible means, right? This is alcohol, isn't it? No, this is tea. According to the regulations issued by the Realm Keeping Commission, we can only sell tea to customers. I hope you understand, dear customer. Since you're a new face here, please accept this cup of flaming potent tea as a token of my goodwill. It's on the house. My tea house may be inconspicuous, but the most influential persons in the Exalting Sanctum would come here for tea. Of course, you are free to take a seat here and share your stories. Okay, so if the tea is alcohol, that means the first one was like kind of like Fireball that we chugged, and then the second one might have had some lettuce in it, for those of you who know, which might have caused the hallucinations. Though alcohol could do that too, like seeing triple. So maybe it had like some strong liqueur in it, and then the last one, like a buzz sensation where you're like slightly tipsy, so maybe some wine? Wait, what was that? Allies lose HP equal to 5% of their max HP, but increase their technique damage by 100%. Again, you lose all HP equal to 5%. Oh my gosh. If I had Blade, I would just use that for Blade. Seems like his kinda drink.
There's still more work to do on the... My colleagues from the Merchant Guild accounting department want me to remind you that we haven't met our revenue target for this phase yet.
Excuse me, I am doing all of your work for you. You're just doing paperwork at this point. Look at this. We're almost up to prosperity level 20. And we're almost up to the bid amount. Alright, big, big, small, big. Alright, let's put these down first. Then we'll put these down. Interesting, so you can't stack anything on these. That looks very precarious. You would have to use so many straps to be able to make that not fall over. Oh, we're super close. We're gonna have like excess. Alright, these guys need 3 big, but these need... Oh, I see, I see. Let's just fully unload that. And then we'll put the tables on top. Do they need to be sideways, maybe? Yeah, that will work perfectly. And then the big guys. And then the tiny ones. There we go. Oh. Tetris stacking. Okay, so we even went above our goal. With the Merchants Guild myriad of achievements, it's time to make a concentrated effort to prepare for the bidding. Aurum Alley will neither rest on its laurels nor abandon its established dominance. Aurum Alley will follow in its own way.
I have something to tell you. We achieved our revenue goal for this quarter. This is all thanks to you two. Not to mention the merchants of Aurum Alley. The Merchant Guild promises that we will use the money where it is meant to be spent. No disappointments. The funds will be used for the overall repair and upgrade of the dock. Which means we won't be able to use the dock's shipping logistics for a while.
Yeah, so you get, like, the extra... Dear Business Advisor Kalis, on behalf of Aurum Alley Merchant Guild, I want to once again express our deepest gratitude to you. Thanks to your diligent efforts, we have successfully earned a total of 500,000 and it is straw in guild funds before the bidding deadline, reaching the revenue target. The Merchant Guild pledges to use the revenue to bid on Aurum Alley and for improving Aurum Alley's infrastructure. You can see that Aurum Alley has become day and night since you first set foot here. These changes, without a doubt, were only possible because of you. Yours respectfully, Aurum Alley Merchant Guild. Alright, we got some side quests to do. Achieve order profit of 18,000. Alright, what's our highest? Highest is this one. We can't do it that way. Because they're not close enough together, I guess. Oh, we just barely got over it. And that only got us 200 more. Alright, have at least 10 small goods. Okay. Ah, they don't match up that way? Oh, they still wouldn't match up that way, would they? Oh, I needed to do it the other way. Duh. Oh, really? We don't run in... Hmm. That was interesting, design-wise. Alright, we got this right. Oh. Yeah, I'm glad the hint's there, because that would have taken me a while to figure out on my own. Alright, last one. Fill up the freight star skiff as you wish. Okay. These guys are 2,500, and we could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And so that would equal... so like 12,500 would be the total amount. What's the highest amount for stacking? Would be this guy. So that's 18,800, but that's actually still less than if we just... No, okay, that was more. Alright, we'll just redo it then. Off it goes. I'm sure there are ways to make like buku bucks in that thing, but you know. Horn of Plenty achievement. Earn 1 million of the Merchant Guild's fund for the Aurum Alley Merchant Guild in the event. Let's go do our little side missions. Ah, I spent so much time on this. How could this happen? What happened? Oh, you know what? All the takeout orders are so overwhelming these days, and so are the complaints from my customers. I've never received so many negative reviews before. At first, I thought my cooking wasn't as good as it used to be, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So I took a closer look and found out all these complaints were about takeout orders. Exactly, something's terribly wrong with the delivery. Actually, I read through all the comments and all of them were about lost delivery or wrong items delivered. I realized something was wrong with the delivery, so I contacted the delivery company. They sent me this deting and asked me to follow the route and find out what happened. Now I'm having too many orders to look into this issue. Could you please look into this for me, Kalis? I really could use your help. Alright, deting. I bet someone's stealing them. This way? Clue. A lunchbox is left here alone. Its casing is cold as the hearts of the customers who haven't received the food they ordered. After checking it carefully, you are certain that this is the missing takeout food from the Spices Supreme. Although I haven't figured out who did this yet, I should inform Yanxi right away. I found the lost takeout and sent the coordinates to you. If you have time, it might be good to get a Realm Keeping Commission clerk to come over and have a look. The packaging is untouched, and I don't see anyone here, so it's weird. I found out what happened. The staff... Oh, she types too fast. I found out what happened. The staff from the logistics company just contacted me and said their site cranes are having some issues. Looks like there was no thieves after the takeout. I was being too suspicious. I'm so sorry to have bothered you, Kalish. Just leave the takeout where you found it. I don't want to litter... just leave the takeout where you found it. I don't want to litter the streets with expired food, so I asked logistics folks to fetch them back. Anyway, thank you so much for everything today. No, Deeting! Sot Gourmet, Far Away, Rot something. Sot Gourmet, Afar, Rot Flavor, Ajar. Complete the street side event Deeting search in Aurum Alley. Alright, next one. Alright, so they're all at the end. Oh, Psycrane? Positioning, failed. Is this north or south? Who am I? Where am I? Wow, I'm still aboard the La Fu. Do you think you're funny? Hello there, kind-hearted pedestrian. Have you seen my partner? He's one of our Heron Express testers. I nipped out to deliver a package, but when I got back, he was gone. I wish I could, but positioning systems have failed. I was meant to return to the base after delivery, but seeing as we only just got here, and so much of the map data was empty, I just couldn't confirm my own location. Next up, we should head over to Dew's Tea House to pick up the delivery and then fill in the remaining map data. Mister, you have been too kind. Could you please show me the way to Dew's Tea House? Let's go there. Maybe my partner is waiting for me there.
Dumplings and steamed buns. The buns are huge.
Dragon Spring variety.
This is indeed Dew's Tea House, but where is the man himself? Looks like he's not in. Based on work plans, he is meant to visit Dew's Tea House and the Artistry Hardware today. Looks like he's probably gone to Artistry Hardware. The Artistry Hardware is another blank space on the map. Could you please navigate again for me? Sure, take your time. It's not urgent. Give me a holler once you remember. How do we get to Artistry Hardware from here? Alright, you got it. Let's go. Hang on, you're going the wrong way. I just said go straight ahead, then turn left. Huh? Oh, that was Kalis. I forgot, and my partner forgot to restore me to factory settings. I always get my lefts and my rights mixed up. Sorry about that. Huh? What are you doing here? I've been looking for you all day and couldn't keep up with you. I'm at my wit's end. And also, who's this with you? Who are they? I see. Thank you for collecting the route data for Dew's Tea House and bringing it back to me. I thought I wouldn't be able to finish my job today. Thankfully, there are so many kind-hearted people on the ship. Thank you so much. We'll need to go to Artistry Hardware next. Could you please point us the way again, kind-hearted stranger? Don't bother, I know where it is. Just follow me and don't get lost again. Oh, it's getting late. Let's talk later. Alright, and then the last one was over here. Gangsters pretending to be guards again? Cloud Knight's out on official business? Then where's the official permanent documentation? Why should I listen to you? These Cloud Knights been hanging around the front of my store, spooking all my customers who think something's happening in here. I asked the Cloud Knights what they're doing, and they just said, no questions, official business. I asked, what's that? But they didn't respond, they just stood there in silence. I think they're actually heavies hired by the IPC to pretend to be Cloud Knights, and they're just here to make trouble. Nobody questions an officer of the Cloud Knights? Nothing to do with you, don't interfere in official business. No. You kid around too much. It's an obstruction of official business. At least if you're in America, that's what you should also do with police officers. Is if a police officer is like bothering you, just make sure to be like, hey, can I... Like, if they're asking for stuff, or if they pull you over, or they want to get into your house, or anything, be like, hey, tell me your credentials, like, tell me your police ID badge. I'm on the phone with 911 to confirm it. or with the police if you have their normal number, which is probably better than 911 because they're understaffed just like everywhere else. So if you have your police station's basic telephone number for non-emergencies, call that and be like, I need to confirm a police officer's ID tag. Or just workers trying to hustle a little money. We'll be off now. Off we go. Huh, sorry, I can't make a living. Clear out, far away, and don't come back. We don't take kindly to you folk in Aurum Alley. IPC gamemanship, it really wears me out. Thank you so much. My tea lovers are all settled now. Okay, that's all the tiny side quests. So that means we'll be able to buff the logistics because we'll have all the new boosts. And then we can do any orders that still exist.
In order to reward you and there's still more work to do. We should set the dock matters aside for now. There are more urgent issues at hand.
Okay, it looks like we got everything. Let's do our logistics planning. Alright, so add 5 to the route. Score is increased by 20. And then some speed surge. Okay. Doesn't look like we need to change the routes too much. That's 82. Okay. So there has to be a way I can get up to 90. And sometimes the best thing is just to not even do the buffs. To just... Oh, that only gives me 56, so obviously that's not the right answer. That gives me 74. Want to try something out. What if we have the tea guy go over here, barely get anything, but that gives me 84. Gives me a little bit more. Okay, that's only 73. also 83. Oh my gosh. Here. $79. Alright, so that's not it either. If I just do the shortest route possible without any of the buffs, or like only the closest buffs, that gives me 47. That's 82. Man, I haven't been able to get over 83. It has to be in this area that I'm like... Alright, that's... That's 79, so it's still not right. That's 74. That's 83. So I feel like we're getting closer. What am I missing? That's 82. $83 again. Oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? What am I missing? Oh, zoomed in too far. Really? The tea house had to go through every single boost in the area to be able to get a good score, and the other two didn't? Whatever, I got to 90. Just me sitting here being like, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. Okay, finally. Markets, Skyline. Oops. Alright, earn 900,000 Merchant Guild funds. Reach 75 in logistic planning. Complete a total of 7 custom orders. Complete street side events totaling 9. And then I guess this is the complete the back in business, so we're gonna do the bidding. I'm guessing the last one we're gonna get from that last store person, the Mr. Who is probably gonna be the person in charge of bidding or something. And so we'll get our last one that we need to get to Prosperity 20 from him, probably. Because we're fully done in logistics. We just need to get this last bit here. Okay. In Aurum Alley Hustle and Bustle, achieve a shipping lane planning score of 81 for any store. I didn't even need to get to 90 to get everything. I just needed to get to 75 and 81. Absolute ludicrous. I spent way too long on that, I guess. Oh, that puts us at 7. We're getting close to being able to do another temple.
There's still more work to do on the Aurum Alley.
Oh yeah, our next point is to get some stuff from Tall Auntie. Yeah.
Miss Secretary asked me to prepare some refreshments for you earlier. Make yourselves comfortable. I'll bring them out shortly.
Tall Auntie enthusiastically packs a full bag of takeout for you. Before the bidding begins, there's something the president wants to tell us. Why does it feel like the BBEG situation? Big bad ending. This is a D&D term, but I can't remember, and kind of like a game term, but I can't remember what the G stands for. What a long trip it has been. It really makes you feel all sorts of emotions looking back on how far we've come. Too soon. Wait till we've won. Oldies Depot, see you there. Okay. I hear an electronic voice somewhere. Oh, it's the back and forth. It's a hologram. That's cool.
Mr. President, they've arrived.
You'll forgive me for not shaking hands. Indeed. I must admit I didn't expect much when Ming-Shi first brought you to me. I thought you were just another group of strangers who meant well, but wouldn't make a difference. To my disbelief, not only did you manage the lease, but you stayed to convince others, including me, that our cause is one that is worth fighting for.
I didn't have a choice. Well, actually I did. The Stellar Jade was too much to give up.
Even now, it's hard for me to imagine how you are going to win the bidding. As slim a chance as we have, there is still hope.
I was trying to figure out how to word this, and so now it doesn't sound as good. I was gonna say, the Stellar Jade was too much. I'm fighting desperately to get my husband to come home. His dowry is is a little bit higher than I was expecting.
Go, and may good tidings come with you when you return.
Alright. Oh, it's not even in Aurum Alley. It's gonna be in a third-party locations. Okay.
It's getting late. Where to now?
It never struck me that someone as humble and kind as Xiao Han would work together with the likes of Scott.
Before I met Xiao Han, I always imagined everyone at the IPC would be like Scott. Overbearing and dodgy. Now I understand. The IPC has many faces.
Palace of Astrum is up ahead.
Let's
do
go.
this.
Before we place our bid, let's go over our key points again.
I'm curious if you can actually win this bid. Or if it's gonna be one of those things where we try to win the bid, but then Xiao Han is either A, double-crossing the IPC where he got in to be the bidder, but he's gonna end up losing to us, quote-unquote, on purpose, or he's gonna see how much it means to us and then give up the bid to us anyway. Because I don't honestly see us having enough capital to win the bid on our own, but we'll see.
This is the most tangible achievement of our alley revival project. It demonstrates that the alley still has plenty of life in it. Having enough funding to back up our bid is key to competing with the IPC.
Because of the crossover meal deals, the alley has seen an uptick in customers.
It goes to show that the alley still lives up to its name as one of the best food destinations. The president conducted a poll to gather the shop's opinions on the future of the alley. More and more shops have voiced their support for the guild and expressed their confidence in our revival project. Let's go. The bidding is about to begin.
I still have not been told how much money we have. Do we have the 1 million that I got the achievement for, or do we only have the 500,000 because the other half was used for upgrading the dock?
On behalf of the Skyfaring Commission, I am invited to host the public bidding of the Aurum Alley Commercial District. With members of all parties present, the proceedings may begin. I hereby ask all parties to submit your support documents for evaluation. The documents should include scope of business, ratio of contributions, and registered capital.
The Skyfaring Commission confirms all parties' bidding documents and bidding evaluations commence. Not gonna lie, guys, I'm getting a little nervous. To no one's surprise, the IPC and the Merchant Guild are the only two contenders left standing. Oh, there were other people bidding? I didn't expect that.
Representatives of all parties, please be ready to brief the review committee on your business plans.
Where's the rest of the IPC? Why is it only Xiaohan?
By personal request of the committee, a discussion session will be added to allow all participants to raise and answer questions.
Why are we having another debate?
No. Usually you just submit your bid and wait for the result.
But the game company wanted to continue using their debate dynamic they set up.
But Madame Yukong wants us to have a proper debate to better understand each other's points.
Xiao Han, whenever you are ready, tell us about your plan for Aurum Alley.
Members of Aurum Alley Merchant Guild, I hope you're all keeping well. By utilizing the dock, the guild managed to repay outstanding rents and also raised sufficient funding to stand at the bidding. That just goes to show how vital the dock is. The IPC seeks to unleash the full potential of the dock, taking full advantage of its role as a logistics center, thus transforming Aurum Alley into one of the most advanced commercial ports in the galaxy. And that, honorable ladies and gentlemen, is the rejuvenation that everyone has been hoping for.
Yeah, but that's not a plan at all. Like, all you're saying is, like, we want to use the dock to become a commercial hub. Like, I'm an economics major. You need to give me more than that. You need to give, like, your 5-year, your 10-year, your 20-year outline of, like, how you're going to interact with business, money projections that you expect to happen, like, things like that. Like, development plans and showing like how you're going to properly compensate the local people for potentially having to move them out of areas that they've been in for long periods of time. Like, I know this is just a game, so like they're not gonna do all of that, but that's like a sentence that's like the tagline that you would use and not like a proper debate sentence when talking about a development plan.
Members of Aurum... And if we're not? No need to be quite so aggressive. Members of Aurum Alley Merchant Guild, I hope you're all... By utilizing the dock, the guild managed to repay outstanding rents and also raised sufficient funding to stand at the bidding. That just goes to show how vital the dock is. The IPC seeks to unleash the full potential of
The only thing I can think of is the opinion poll.
You can't just present something. I can't say what this has to do with our The IPC seeks to
Oh, is that
unleash
not
the
it?
full potential of the dock, taking full advantage of its role as a logistics center, thus transforming Aurum Alley into one of the most advanced by utilizing the dock, the guild managed to repay outstanding rents and also raised sufficient funding to stand at the bidding. That just goes to show how vital the dock is.
Oh good, I can actually click on it again. I don't know, the bidding deposit?
Take a look at this. I admit that the guild has made a fortune from the dock, but the IPC can offer much more. You should retract this. By utilizing the dock, the guild managed to repay outstanding rents and also raised sufficient funding to stand at the bidding. That just goes to show how vital the dock is. The IPC seeks, and that, honorable ladies and gentlemen, is the rejuvenation
that's
that
then
everyone
we.
has.
Okay, I get it.
Think otherwise.
According to the poll we conducted earlier with business owners, most of them have already partnered with the Merchant Guild and wish to preserve their current business model. Artistry Hardware is among the shops that registered this answer.
I just realized that this is like kind of the objection format from Ace Attorney.
Father has never been the shrewdest when it comes to business matters. I'm afraid his opinions don't constitute the most valuable insights. In agreeing with your approach, those shops may risk missing the bigger picture and opportunities for future growth.
Ningxi, please share with us what the guild has in mind.
As Xiao Han mentioned, the IPC sees the dock as the most valuable asset the alley has to offer. But for us, The local shops are what makes the alley special. The guild serves the sole purpose of helping local businesses. We will help the alley reclaim the title of the best night market on the Lawfu.
Best night market on the Lawfu? With the IPC's funding pouring in, hundreds of commercial centers will sprout. Why would people come to Aurum Alley when they have so many other options? Nobody cares about that title anymore. Aurum Alley needs to adapt and reimagine itself. The future that the IPC offers will ensure its name is known in the most remote corners of the galaxy.
You noticed a hint of wavering in Xiao Han's demeanor, indicating that there were likely some intentionally misleading elements within the words spoken.
Best night, say what you want. But we... What makes you so determined to hold on to this idea of a food street? Why can't the revival of the alley take on other forms?
Because people want it to retain its food street. We have proof of that.
Do we have any proof? Best night market on the Lawfu? With the IPC's funding pouring in, hundreds of commercial centers will sprout. Why would people come to Aurum Alley?
When people think of Aurum Alley, they think about its food. The two notions can't be separated.
We organized a crossover between the Merchant Guild and Spices Supreme. By sending out coupons and gifts, we attracted twice as many customers as we normally would. This shows that food is still a big reason why people visit the alley.
The revival you envision involves throwing pots of money into building a port, while forcing away most local businesses. Wouldn't that erase the very identity of the alley?
Yeah, no, because, like, Xiao Han was like, oh, we drove away Scott, but, like, and now I'm taking over, and then he's like, why don't we cooperate? But then, like, everything he's stating is literally just Scott's statement from prior, but in, like, a more professional tone, and less like a, I am the villain kind of tone. So it's like...
Our approach protects the people who made the alley what it is today.
So I'm like, earlier he's like, oh, why don't we work together? And like, on top of making this a trade hub, it will attract more people to the night market because lots of people will walk through this area. But now what he's talking about is an entirely different thing, so I'm confused. Also, why would he initially have helped us get his dad to turn over a new leaf if he was on the IPC's side to begin with?
That concludes our discussion. We will inform all participants of the result when a decision has been made. Thank you all for coming.
Oh, are we not actually gonna have like a bidding section? The results of the commercial district bid is not announced, but both parties leave with a good idea of the outcome. What, that the IPC has ludicrous amounts of money and would have won the bid anyway? Like, I would think the IPC would win.
Sorry, I was zoning out. I'd heard that Xiao Han had matured a lot since returning from his study abroad. It would appear the time he spent outside the Xianzhou really did make him a better person. You're right. It really got me thinking. Even though it seems like we're doing the right thing, will we still think so 10 years from now?
I mean, at least for businesses, like, if it all fails out, the IPC can probably buy it up even cheaper than if they bought it now, so. Also, I'm confused on why the IPC wants it so bad. Like, it makes sense back when Aurum Alley was booming, but the CN show and the other, ships move around constantly, which is why they said that trade dropped off, is because the ship drove off, so it's harder for trading partners to find it regularly enough to do consistent trade. So, like, how would the IPC do that?
Sorry. You don't have to listen to me daydreaming. I'll head back to the dock for now.
Do you think the guild won the bid?
Is it too late to blow up the IPC? Like, the IPC, if they have enough money to completely tear down the district and turn it into a giant warehouse, I'm sure they would win bid-wise. But the only thing that's in our favor is the IPC would think we wouldn't have any money, so maybe they only allocated a smaller amount of money for the bid because they didn't think that the Merchant Guild would actually be enough of a threat to place a higher one.
Not the brightest idea. Anyway, no point in standing around here worrying. I'm heading back to the alley. Talk to you soon.
See, the only way I can think of this working in our favor is if whoever's selling the alley, like whoever has ownership of the land, decides to pull it from the bid. And instead, lease it to the merchants instead. Why would you add that backstabbing snake back into the group chat? I added the young master again. Oh, hi! The bids resulted a while back. I received news from the Skyfaring Commission. We got it. Oh. Wow. Yukong, wow. Didn't see that coming. I actually didn't. The Merchant Guild will continue to manage the Aurum Alley Commercial District. You could have said all that before adding me to the group. We lost you. We won? Is it true, Madam Yukong? This is the result of the Skyfaring Commission's evaluation panel. I was not involved. Yippee! Don't be sad, young master. One more thing. The Exalting Sanctum branch of the IPC will join the guild as retainer. The IPC is such a huge franchise. It counts as a retainer? Retailer. Not retainer. As the regional manager of the corporations, I already have plans to establish connection with the local business community. In the future, I kindly request your assistance to work together in rejuvenating Aurum Alley. Oh, Kalis, Sushang, can you come to the docks? I have something to tell you. Sure, on my way. We will run over there now. Once I can understand directions and how a map works. Okay, I honestly, outside of like protagonist power, did not expect us to win the bid. Oh hey, the director's here.
I'm the one who dragged you into all this. I must thank you again. Thank you for everything you've done for the guild and the alley.
He meant to say thank you very much.
Nope, I'm a mercenary. You got more coin?
You two have done a lot to help us. You deserve every bit of praise. Now that I've finally got some free time, I'm starting to reflect on the choices I made and the reasons behind them. The president and Xiao Han had different perspectives because they came from different backgrounds. And I can't help but feel the decisions I made were somewhat restricted by my own background.
The same can be said for all of us.
If that's true, the only way to get a wider perspective is to leave my comfort zone and look outward. The answer to reviving Aurum Alley isn't necessarily within the alley itself, and that's why I secured an internship opportunity at Pier Point with the help of Xiao Han. Once I wrap up here, I'll be on my way. I plan to entrust the alley to you two. If you ever need any help, just ask the president.
That doesn't really work. You can't just dump your job on us just because I was helping in the short term. I have to get on a train, and she's a Cloud Knight.
That's right. If you wish to continue with the inventory or logistics planning, come and find me.
I hope I can come back with new insights. Bye for now. I'll see you when I get back.
I guess that's for, like, she's out of the picture, so now if you want to continue trying to get some of the achievements, you can then go and talk to the president. Let Aurum Alley thrive once more. Okay, are we fully done with that? We are. Okay, cool. So much has changed, yet this alley remains the same. Please don't mind this old man's sentimental remarks. How can I help you?
The most important part of an Aurumaton is its head. Same as humans.
Okay, so that gives us completion of everything there. 50? Whew. We still have one more business interaction to find. Stellar Stacker. Okay, here it is. Merchant event. Mr. Ho. Who? Anyway. Mr. Hu, a special arms wholesaler, wishes to see if he can use logistics of the docks for his own ends. And then we got some achievements. Let's see. I know it's time, but I like to get the entire section done in one sitting, so we'll go a little bit over. Complete the mission Back in Business 4 and win the bid for the Aurum Alley Commercial District. I wonder if you can lose it. Like, if you can flip it to where the IPC wins and then the Merchant Guild is a retailer instead. Arrange 81 units of inventory goods onto a single freight star skip in Aurum Alley. Hustle and bustle. And this guy should give us our last bit of prosperity that we need. Oh.
Looks good.
Went and got all the treasure chests. Like I said, the dowry for my husband is turning out to be quite expensive. Alright, Mr. Who. Friend, I saw you at the docks before. You reap a guild and have connections throughout the business world. You know, I'm something of a businessman myself. Oh gosh, run away from anyone who says that. I'm something of a writer myself. I'm something of a gamer myself. Anyone who says I'm something of a insert something here myself, run away. Can I get in on some of the Aurum Alley docks hustle? So where's your store? My friend, have an open mind. Wheresoever I go, there you shall find my store. But, the things I sell in this store of mine, they're kinda shady. My friend, know what I'm saying? I came here just to talk with you first about whether this could happen. You're a black market dealer. Hey, what are you saying? I prefer to think of myself as a special arms wholesaler. The authorities are cracking down everywhere on the law fu. It's a real pain. But you know, I have a customer who urgently needs some of my medicine. My friend, can you help me out with this dockside logistics here? Is it legal? My friend, don't worry. Anything not explicably prohibited is technically legal. All this good stuff lies right in that not explicably prohibited area. My friend, you don't sound like you trust me when you say that. I support your Aurum Alley Merchants Guild. You see, I don't have a storefront of my own. I mosey about on my way, but the IPC won't come and negotiate any deals with me, let alone mention any money. Besides, there's no place for someone like me once the IPC swallows up this place. I can draw up a formal treaty with a guild, but you see, it requires a process of building trust. What about this? You help me deliver a package, and if it goes through, you come back to me, and then we can talk about working together. How's that? No, they may not call me Mr. Good Guy, Mr. Hugh, but I'm absolutely a traitor who keeps his word. Take the modded cycrane with you and send it to a very high location, and I'll put a marker on your navigator so the client can collect. But friend, I trust you. You must never, ever open the goods. And never ask about the client either. Don't forget that. On one hand, I kind of want to do so just so I can see if I can get like an achievement. Why not use the cycrane to send Mr. Hughes goods straight from here? Imposing voice. Hey, is that Mr. Hughes goods you got over there? Thanks for bringing it all the way. Put those goods over here then. See, I would deny everything. Like, no, this is a package I'm sending my grandmother. Do you even understand the words I'm saying to you? Hand it over. I want to trouble you, so just put the goods down, turn around, and walk away. Otherwise, don't blame me if I start playing hardball. What are you looking at? Never seen a Cloud Knight before? How do you know I got the goods? I hate cunning couriers like you.
Conflict is pitiless. The dead return!
Rules are made to be broken.
Anyway, beyond words. Anyway, I still have to use the cycrane to deliver the goods to their intended destination. I should place the goods where Mr. Hugh wants them. Something will be there for the collection. The goods have arrived at their designated location. Placement in process. Please do not move. On to the next stop. Same thing as last time. Cycrane is returning. Alright, the goods have been delivered. Go back and talk to Mr. Hugh. Tell him there's a guy dressed up as a Cloud Knight trying to snatch the goods. Kalis, you're back. I heard from the client you've delivered the goods as requested. Any problems along the way? My friend, you even fought off the Cloud Knight just to help me smuggle some goods. You really are reliable. Don't worry, that person wasn't a real Cloud Knight, so the Seed of Divine Foresight won't be looking for you. They're just an actor I hired. In this line of business, the most important thing is being cautious. Relax, my friend. You passed my test and won my trust. I'll do as I say. I'll cooperate with you as a sole distributor. I promise you the docks will be drowning in an unending stream of orders, with each of these orders being legal and coming from the shops of Aurum Alley. Relax. These are perfectly authentic goods. Of course, all these orders don't come out of nowhere. You can buy some costly remedies from me. A little business between us will do a mutual profit. How about it? You and me, we're both established business people. Sooner or later, we'll strike it big. Farewell, then. If anything comes up later, I'll be relying on your support, my friend. An endless stream of new goods has been transported to the dock and awaits shipping. Pawn shop number 8. Established a collaboration with Mr. Hugh. Can I actually buy anything from him? His title is literally smuggler. Come in, come in. I have all sorts of wondrous treasure here. May it interest you in something? Oh, that's not the case here. Everything here is sold at a fair price. Us small businesses need to attract regulars, which isn't gonna happen if I set my prices sky high. Besides, if you really think my stuff is too expensive, you're always welcome to stop by, take a look, help us set up a fairer price. You're welcome either way. Recipes! Oh my gosh, they're all straw. Or, no, this is Merchant Guild funds. Oh, I wonder how I get more of these then. Oh, I wonder if it's for, stacking the goods and sending them out. Is that how you get more Merchant Guild funds? That's nifty, a way to like keep you playing the game a little bit. I won't bore you all by doing that, I'll do that off screen, but I'll show you if I get the shop cleared out.
Old alleyways always high. The Merchant Guild will always pay you what you deserve. Go and claim your Merchant Guild benefits.
Alright, let's get that last prosperity token. Alright, so we have all of the prosperity done. We have all of logistics planning and revitalization done. We have claimed Sushang. The logistics is fully done, so it does not look like we need to add Mr. Hu into that. And then, looks like we got a new order here. Okay, and then you can just like keep going. And that's how you probably get straw, which you can then spend at Mr. Who's. Okay. To get these, Oh, which I have one of, because I bought them at the different Aurum Alley shops. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so that seems to be the end. Like, you go to Mr. Who's shop, and you can just keep loading orders to get the straw that you need to buy recipes from him. But that's the entire event. It was a pretty good event. Not gonna lie, that was pretty fun, I'd say. I don't have enough of these. How many do I currently have? I have 7. I do want to do a pull, so... I don't like using this too much because I prefer to buy these, but I'm kind of desperate, guys. Alright, we are only at 9 pity though, so I'm not expecting a lot. Would be great, would be absolutely delighted if he came home at 9 pity, but, you know. Ah, 9 pity's not gonna do it, guys. Now we're at 19. Oh, we got another Herta. Not even on the weapon banner. Too bad. Alright, so now that we are pretty much done, we're gonna enhance that, gonna superimpose it, let's take the lock off. Yep. But I'm going to tell you, so next time, so it's Sunday, next week is, the next time we'll stream is on Wednesday, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so since we have the entirety of Aurum Alley's event done, we are moving past it, and we will start working on the simulated universe swarm disaster. And so we're gonna do that. Because I think that's the only thing I have left to do. Yeah, so event-wise, the swarm disaster is next. I do not know how long that's gonna take. So once we get the swarm disaster done, we're gonna do our normal order. We'll get these little side quests done, and then we'll go on to our companion missions. And then once we get everything done, because we have one for our husband, or we may do these first just because they give 100. We'll have to see. We'll get on to these and then try and clear them out as much as possible. We do need to explore Aurum Alley still, but we'll do that before we start doing these quests. But we are getting close to having this fully done, and then once we have Honkai Star Rail fully up to date, the next thing will transfer over to my Genshin account. I'm not gonna start a new one because that's too much. So you'll just pick up wherever I happen to be on my Genshin account. And we will also go through my Genshin as well. So that should be fun. Yeah, if we were gonna start a new one, we would need to start Honkai 3rd Impact because I have not played that. But thank you all so much for watching. We got our nice new wallpaper here. I hope you have a lovely day, a lovely night, a lovely weekend, whatever time it is for you. I hope to see you all back next Wednesday for my next stream. And goodbye and have a lovely day.